Hi guys, my name is Aman. Thank you so much for registering your interest for the I Am Gifted workshop. In a minute, we're going to send you a short email. Go ahead and please check your inbox. Make sure you read it. Now, if it's not there, it may have accidentally been sent to your spam or junk folder. So go ahead and look around there. It may be there. So what we want to ask you to do is to just go ahead, have a look inside, read the email, and please mark down on your calendar the date and time of the workshop so that you are there on time and you'll be able to maximize all your learning that day. Oh, and by the way, please, when you come for the preview, stay all the way to the end so that you can unlock some amazing, super special secret discounts just for you. But today, this whole purpose of this video that we're going to do is to share with you some of the most powerful strategies to help our children. Now, I'm a trainer. I've been a full-time trainer with Adam Khoo for the past 7 years. I've trained both in the I Am Gifted workshop as well as in schools in Singapore, hundreds of schools in Singapore. And the absolute number one complaint that I receive from teachers, parents, even students themselves, they tell me, Aman, you know what? I struggle with focusing. I can't focus. Every single time I sit down and study, I spend more time looking at my phone or I spend more time playing with my cat than I do focusing on what I'm supposed to do. And you know what? This is not just a student problem. In fact, more and more of us as human beings are losing an attention span. Did you know that attention span of human beings right now is on average at 7 seconds. 7 seconds long. That's how much we can actually focus. It's terrible because goldfish have an attention span of 8 seconds. This is ridiculous. And part of the reason is because of the way the world works now. The way we have internet, we have YouTube videos, Instagram, and there's all these messages popping up. There's distractions everywhere. In fact, if you distract yourself on YouTube while watching a YouTube video, there'll be an ad that distracts you from the video inside the video. It doesn't make any sense. So right now what we're struggling with is how to focus, how to be mindful on focusing. So here's what we're going to do. This is an absolute free gift for you right now, this video. I'm going to share with you some of the top 5 ways to increase focus, and you can use this. You share this with your children, so you can get your children to have an increased amount of focus. All right, so let's get started. What's the first way to increase focus for our children? Number 1 is to get them to focus in short bursts. You see, if what we're doing is really struggling with focusing, then you want to start practicing focusing, completely focusing in short bursts. How long is a burst? Roughly about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, this applies to us as well, even as grown-ups, as parents. If you struggle with doing a piece of work because you always get distracted, then dedicate yourself to just sitting down and focusing for no more than 20 to 25 minutes. And you keep telling that to yourself. You know what? This is just 20 minutes. It's just 25 minutes. And you have to keep repeating that to yourself to encourage yourself to sit down and actually get work done. And you can motivate yourself by saying, you know what, after this 20 minutes or after these 25 minutes, I'm going to get a break, or I'm going to go get a cup of coffee, or I'm going to relax a little bit. So you want to take a short break of about 5 minutes or so, and then come back and then sit down and focus again. Now, this is a technique called the Pomodoro technique, and it's really, really powerful because what it does is it allows us to break up our attention span into really, really focused units where we sit down and have a burst of intense focus. So this is one way, but in order for this to work, we have to do step number 2. And step number 2 is we have to remove all distractions. So if you want to be able to focus and have an increased amount of focus, you are going to have to remove all distractions. And I'm going to say this one more time, my friends, all distractions, which means you cannot have anything that distracts you. If your phone distracts you, you have to put it away. If you have a cat or a dog that distracts you, you got to put it away. Don't put it down. That's the wrong idea. You want to put it away. But what we want to do is we want to be able to eliminate all distractions and allow ourselves to focus 110% on the task that we are doing. So what this does is you're actually messing with your mind now. You see, our brains are always choosing between what we like and what we don't like. What we don't like is considered pain in our mind, and what we do like is considered pleasure. So our phone, for example, is a huge pleasure source. And the reason why is because every time you unlock your phone, you have a new experience. Someone has tagged you in a photo, someone has sent you a message, maybe someone sent you a post or a video that was funny, and you got a nice reaction out of that. So your phone is this constant barrage of pleasure-inducing stimuli. So what we want to do is we have to eliminate that, because the task we're supposed to do, whether it be some work or studying or memorizing, is considered in our mind quite painful. And if you have something that's really pleasurable there with you, your brain will always gravitate towards the pleasure. So now that you understand the science behind that, what you want to know is removing this pleasure will allow you to focus on what you have to do. And again, remind yourself it's only 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes for me to focus. After that, I can take a short break. Now, even during your break, you cannot have a huge distraction. You can have a little bit of a distraction like grabbing a drink, going to the bathroom, but you cannot pick up the phone, because that's going to eliminate any focus you've built up during the first step. Okay? So that's step number 2, eliminate all distractions. Step number 3 is to work according to our strengths. Now, what does this mean? It means that if you're really good in something, chances are you enjoy doing it because you're really good at it. So what you want to do is you want to work according to your strength. So for example, let's say your child is struggling with memorizing something. If your child is a creative person, perhaps he or she is gifted in music, is very musically inclined, perhaps he or she writes songs, for example, you can encourage them to use that strength and mix it with that memorization, so they can change some of the words that they're memorizing and turn it into a song, turn it into a poem. Use that strength. Let's say your child is artistically inclined, likes to draw, likes to create comics. Get them to memorize whatever it is they want to memorize by turning whatever they're supposed to memorize into a comic. That's just an example. Okay, so there's so many different ways for us to use our strengths in order to make our task more pleasurable. Discover what your strength is and find a way to use it to make your task more pleasurable and hence increase our focus. Okay, so that's the third step. The fourth step is to get us to focus on our goals. So this is of course what you want, what you hope to achieve, and what you're going for in the long run. So let's say we're talking about our children here, and we want our children to study and study hard. Get them to think about what they want to do after school. Which tertiary education institution would they like to go to? What course do they want to apply to? Are they going to go to university? And if they are, what are they going to study there? And what do they need to help them reach that level of education? So get them to focus on their goals and what they want to move forward towards as they progress in their academic life. Career is actually a really important thing that they can think about and focus on, because this is something that they can do to start making money, and this is something that they can start to do out there once they finish school. So focus on their goals, but last but not least, the fifth step is perhaps the most important step of all if you're talking about goals, and that is, and I want to write this in red because it is important, and the last step is to focus on why. Why are these goals important? If they say they want to be a computer programmer, for example, why? If they say they want to be a game designer, why? If they say they want to be a banker, why? And it's a very important task for them to really reflect on why they really want these goals. Because if they do not know why they want it, they're going to lose steam really fast. They're going to lose that motivation really fast. This why is the whole reason why they get out of bed in the morning, because they have this laser-like focus on something that matters to them. Now, when you ask your child why they want a specific goal, here's what you got to do. You have to always dig as deep as possible. Do not accept the first answer that they give. In other words, they say, if you ask your child, why do you want to be a game designer? They say, oh, because I like it, or because it makes me happy. Ask them to go a little bit deeper. Why does it make you happy? What is it about game design that you really truly enjoy? Where do you see yourself in the whole game designing world? If money wasn't an issue, how far would you take the whole game designing adventure of yours? Where would you go? And get them to really think about why they want this. What drives them? What really motivates them? And once you get a really good answer to this question of why, you're going to get someone who's really, really motivated to do whatever they have to do to get those goals to materialize in the real world. And once you have that, motivation, you have an incredible amount of focus, because now this person will not be distracted by anything, because they know exactly what they're doing and, more importantly, why they're doing it. So I hope that makes sense. And these are the 5 steps on how to gain an increased amount of focus in your children. And please feel free to use this for yourself as well on, increasing your focus in your own daily life. So I hope that this has been quite useful. If you like this, you're going to love what you're going to get in the workshop that's coming up soon. So remember, check your email. Make sure that you read the email that we've sent. Mark the dates on your calendar, including the time, and stay all the way to the end of the workshop, because we're going to cover a ton of stuff. We're going to cover things like the 10 steps of study success. We're going to talk about how to be able to get your kids to study less and score more. We're also going to be talking about what are some of the other factors like personal mastery, some of the personal strengths that people have, how to develop that winner's mindset, some of the empowering beliefs that successful people have, as well as relationship and communication mastery, which is talking about working with your family and friends, and how to reduce the amount of bullying that you have, how to be able to reduce conflict, and how to be able to become a great leader. So all of these things will be covered in depth in the program, so you guys get a sneak peek behind the full I Am Gifted program. So I hope to see you there. And remember, if you stay all the way to the end, you're also going to unlock some super secret discounts that we have reserved just for you. So once again, my name is Aman, and I look forward to seeing you at the preview. Take care.